So today we're going to talk about something that goes way beyond the balance sheets in creditor negotiations. We're diving into the unseen weight of insolvency work. We'll break down those unique mental and emotional pressures that so many practitioners face, and we'll discover why managing that weight is, well, an absolutely critical key to your professional success.
So let me ask you something, straight up. When was the last time you truly felt done? You know, for so many of us, especially in this line of work, the day doesn't really end when you walk out the door. Your mind just keeps spinning, replaying client conversations, anxieties, and deadlines long after the lights are out. And that's because this job, it demands so much more than just technical skill, right? When your clients are in deep financial distress, their pressure, it becomes your pressure. You have to listen, you have to guide, and you end up carrying their uncertainty, all while trying to maintain your own professional calm. It's a massive test of emotional strength.
Okay, so let's really dig into this. We're going to look at 4 key pressures that can silently build up and, if they're left unmanaged, believe me, they can erode your motivation, your clarity, and ultimately your professional judgment.
First up is that emotional weight that just follows you home. You know the feeling. You finish a really tense meeting about a liquidation, but the client's worries about creditor obligations or their cash flow gaps, they're still replaying in your head while you're trying to have dinner. This mental load doesn't just mess with your personal time, it actively drains your clarity for the next case. And that's when the risk of errors really goes up. Then there's this thing, the illusion of control. It feels productive, doesn't it? Taking that client call in the evening or staying late to finalize one more report. But what's really happening? You're just draining your core energy, and you're setting a really dangerous precedent of being constantly available. That kind of exhaustion is exactly what leads to simple, preventable mistakes in case summaries and communication.
This one's tricky because it often starts as a coping mechanism. You might put on a mask of detachment just to protect your focus. But over time, being exposed to so much distress can start to dull your reactions. If you notice your emails are getting a bit sharper or you're losing patience faster, that is a huge warning sign that your emotional load has hit its limit. And finally, there's the danger of silence. In so many teams, long hours and heavy workloads are just accepted. It's part of the job. But when nobody talks about fatigue, stress just quietly piles up. And this is when mistakes start slipping through, in financial statements and reconciliations, all because exhaustion has become the norm that no one acknowledges. So yeah, that's the problem. It can feel pretty heavy, but just recognizing it is the first step. Now, let's pivot to some real, actionable solutions. We're going to open up a professional toolkit for building resilience and, most importantly, for reclaiming your focus.
Okay, first strategy. It's so simple, but it is an absolute game changer. Close each case mentally. After a high-pressure meeting, don't just jump to the next thing. Seriously, take 5 minutes. Document what's done, what's next. Physically check off the task. Then, and this is the key part, consciously step back, take a breath, and mark that file as closed in your mind for the day. This little ritual stops the stress from one case from bleeding into everything else.
Second, you have to protect your energy. Just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the reactive day, constant interruptions, last-minute calls. Your brain is basically under attack. On the other, a structured day. Instead of chaos, you plan 2 90-minute focus sessions for your toughest work. Instead of taking calls whenever, you schedule breaks. This isn't about being rigid. It's about preserving the mental sharpness your work absolutely demands.
And hey, you don't have to carry all this weight by yourself. But peer support can't just be a random vent session here and there. It has to become routine. Schedule short, weekly check-ins with your team. Use that time to specifically talk about pressure points and share what you're going through. This systematic approach is what prevents isolation and helps everyone release that stress before it turns into full-blown burnout.
And this brings us to our final part, and honestly, it's maybe the most important. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset, seeing recovery not as some kind of luxury, but as a core professional skill, every bit as important as your technical expertise.
Just let that sink in for a second. Recovery is a professional skill. Let me say that again. Recovery is a professional skill. It's not a sign of weakness, it is the absolute prerequisite for strength. Your ability to make those complex, high-stakes judgments with confidence, it depends directly on the mental reserves you have in the tank. Managing those reserves is part of the job. So what does practicing this skill actually look like? It's not some abstract idea. It's about concrete, schedulable actions. It means actually scheduling lunches away from your desk. It means taking a 10-minute walk outside every single day.
and planning a couple of evenings a week where you truly leave on time and you don't check work. These aren't rewards, they are strategic practices designed to keep you at the top of your game.
Because at the end of the day, your work isn't just about reconciling accounts or closing balance sheets. Every single file represents a human story of financial loss, stress, and negotiation. The accuracy and the clarity your work demands, well, that depends entirely on your ability to manage the profound human element right at the center of it all.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question. It's not about if you should do something, but how you will. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one concrete action you will take to protect your own clarity and judgment starting tomorrow?